I'm gonna hear myself again, right?
Bang up.
Who? 413, Joker G. Voices in my head, you know. Try to tell me how to live and how I gotta grow. I kill my pain with my heart, and this is what I show. I tell my demons I'm the boss, I'ma let them
go. We want to welcome you all to J.T.R. Journey to Recovery Podcast Radio, your weekly source for candid conversations on mental health and addiction. In today's episode on May 24th, 2024, episode 99, we're diving headfirst into the intersection of mental health and addiction, unpacking the challenges, triumphs, and resources available to those navigating these complex terrains. We're here to shed the light on these vital topics and provide a beacon of hope for anyone on their journey and empowerment in the face of adversity. I'm your host, Tragic Vision. Alongside of me is my trusty co-pilot, M. Joker G. And you're tuning into JTR, Journey to Recovery Podcast Radio.
I tell my demons I'm the boss, I'ma let them go.
Thank you for that beautiful intro. Co-pilot here, M. Joker G. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Man, I can't complain. It's a beautiful day outside, and I can feel that winter getting out of me. You know, I want to go outside and start hanging out. So
get rid of that seasonal depression, you know?
Yeah, no, it can be a killer.
Yeah.
So together, myself, I go by the name of Tragic Visions. We are average people trying to help others. We ourselves are in a structured program that provides group therapy, and that helps us with our day-to-day. And today, I'm here with someone from the program.
Let's introduce our guest today.
My name is Albert. I want to thank God for this privilege to be around not only peers and friends, but people that are like family to me. I've been through some stuff. Just want to say that even going through some stuff, God has always been there. And if you find yourself going through things, the best thing you can do is just acknowledge that same thing that I'm just saying. Find yourself, you know. I've learned along the way that I could be blessed and I could have what's necessary, but never find myself. Me being blessed and God still caring for me makes me realize that I could find myself another day when I wake up, and when I go to sleep, I know I could rest because I just knocked another day.
So, like, we're going to talk a little bit about, you know, manage to cope with your mental illnesses and you know, give the people a little feedback, you know, because everyone copes differently, you know what I'm saying? But somebody out there can try what you've done and see if it helps, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I got incarcerated when I was 15 years old. By the time I was 15, I dropped out of school. I was poor as fuck and tried to make excuses. I hit the streets. I have a lot of family members that were connected, so it made it easy for me to be around the block and don't worry about nothing. But there was one time when I was rock bottom and no family wanted to help me out. Friends was in there and I just found myself closed up. I became homeless for a while. And after that, after I beat 10 years in Rikers Island.
Can you explain a few ways to how to go through to find yourself?
I did 7 years in Puerto Rico hustling in the street. And I had a friend of mine that got off the spot and started going to church. I grew up with him in school when I think it was 8 years old, you know, and he reached me one day and he said, "Yo, how you still doing this crap, man?" I said, "Nigga, it's easier for you, cause you from here, nigga. I ain't got no job, I ain't got nothing." He said, "Man, stop putting excuses, man. Let's go to church." Because I loved him so much, I started visiting church. And after that, I wouldn't even hit the weekends. I just use what I gotta use or just get off the spot and give my clientele, and I'll come back later. But I made it a habit. Like, out of a month, I would take at least 2 Saturdays or 2 Sundays to go to church, fast with them, pray with them, find myself. And then, you know what I'm saying, I just kept coming from Puerto Rico to New York. My family wanted to help me, but people, places, and things. I kept running away from God, man. But slowly I was finding myself, and I would be like, yo, I'm better off doing the right thing than just standing on the block, just getting high. And like, you got enemies around you, even the closest people around you, that you never know might just flip out, whether you blood or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed a friend, you know what I'm saying? And that friend might be Jesus, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You might need a friend, and that friend may be me, Jesus, or it might be a family member, or it might be a close friend. You never know. But just, I'm not telling you that I've been through a lot, or that I conquered this, or that I did this or that. I'm just trying to tell you, man, opportunities come and opportunities go. But when you try, man, and give it a best shot, you're never alone. And even if you don't do it, keep trying, man. Keep trying.
I think that's
because, yeah,
thing.
man, there's a song from Donnie McClurkin that said, a saint is only a person that fell down and got back up. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, you could conquer everything in life. You know what I'm saying? I'm 47 years old, and it's still kicking me in my ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I stay stuck, because even when I want to run away, he's there, man. He's there. He brings people around me that I know I could just sit here and talk and go back home like, yo, it paid off, man. Mm-hmm. It paid off. It made it easier. That was the coping skills I had because of the rehabs and the psych wards. Rehabs in Puerto Rico are very religious. They don't play around with you staying there and going to church and not getting you a job or finding out a way to get you a little crib. And they do it. But it's hard, man. It's hard because you don't know nothing about God, and everybody's just telling you got to pray, you got to read the Bible. But I found myself that when I was on the block, first of all, I was running away from people to kill me, because there's always some people that like stealing drugs, and over there they don't play that shit. Finding myself every day I wake up, noticing that I can't worry about the day of tomorrow. I gotta worry about the day of today. I have to automatically. Because if I don't, then I'm putting excuses when I know how to do the right thing or try, and just give it all up, like make excuses because things are too hard. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said that, you know, I'm not candy coated it like things ain't gonna get hard. It's just, you know, when you keep running away from God and running away from yourself like I used to do, it brings consequences.
Yep.
It brings consequences. And that's when the problem starts. Because when it brings consequences, you got to realize that the Bible says it. When you're like a kid, you think like a kid. You understand? But when you're an adult, then that's when you got to realize that you got to act like an adult in certain times. It ain't going to be like some days you desire to be a kid again and do things differently. But that's part about being an adult, when you realize that it's time to change, or when you realize that it's time to receive good advice, or when you realize that it's time to change because you keep hitting on the same rock every day and you get tired, and then you can't put excuses because the excuses are right there telling you, just try it, man. You know what I'm saying? It takes rock bottom for some people. It takes years in a psych ward for some people. It takes even death or life in jail.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. And all that time that I did out in society, you know what I'm saying, half of the time I was in church anyway, because out of the 7 years that I was hustling in the street, by the 2 years and a half, I was already going to church and going to rehabs. I would go around the block just, you know, to mellow out for a while, get out of home, get discharged, and then when I find myself using again, I go back to church and find myself again. Yeah. I'm not candy coating it like peer pressure ain't bad, like you ain't gonna go through something. I relapsed a whole bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? But that finding myself made me feel comfortable. And I got tired of hitting on the same rock until I said, you know what, man, this church thing is always paying off. I end up right in the same predicament in this place. God's helping me out. But to what time God's going to keep helping me when I know I just got to put the things on the table and that's it. We all eat.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be hard. I'm just trying to spread the love. Find yourself, man, because we all got a right to be happy, man.
You said once you find yourself,
it's done.
You're done. Everything's sailing. You're sailing. You're sailing. You're not on that fucking. You're not on that rocky ship no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like find yourself, love yourself, be true to yourself, forgive yourself.
Right. Yeah. No, I think like for I heard that you said that once you notice a change in yourself and you notice that change, you're doing something for yourself and about yourself. I know for me, it was the hardest things for me to recognize was the changes within myself. At one point, I had to, I took videos in my room to see what I would do in my room because I come from a very structured background in life. Room has to be a certain way. This has to be a certain way. That has to be a certain way.
Yeah.
But for me, I would do that, and then I'll be looking for something, and then it'll just be put over here or put over there, or I reorganize my room. And in 1 week, I noticed that I'd reorganized my room 3 different times, and that was like, well, what's going on in there, And the more I become, got help and came to programs and really getting with, society, if you will, going to church, going to AA or NA meetings, group therapy. I started to find myself like you did. And so I took a video of myself throughout the entire day and I matched it for the whole week. And I only reorganized it once. So, and I thought that was pretty good, because I know in my background, I went through in my entire life until I was age 36 undiagnosed. And I know that I kept doing that. This is the reason why I failed in all my relationships. I was engaged to get married and, that fell apart. And it was tough,
It's mental illness, so it really takes over, we were talking about this earlier, relationships are, everything I had I lost from my mental illness, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, 36 is when I found, myself, what I'm saying? And like, it's been 3 years now and it's been beautiful, I don't deal with anxiety really anymore. I don't deal with my PTSD. Like Albert said, you live for the moment, you know what I'm saying? Stop living in your past, stop living in your future. You can't do that. You're mentally triggering yourself. Definitely when I want for this in the future. Oh man, my past. You gotta get over it. You can't change it. You can't change it.
Yeah, know your triggers and kind of like face them. Because they're all. For me, they're always going to be there. If I know I can tackle one trigger and do something to avoid it. But there's so many other ones. I started to realize that I'm doing it the wrong way, because I wanted my own way.
Trigger can cause another trigger, you know what I'm saying? Everyone heals differently, For example, I don't like loud noises.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I hate loud noises. Slamming
unexpected
doors.
Loud noises.
That's my worst one.
But I learned to deal with it, You just gotta deal with it.
I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to thank my guest here today.
Thank you, brother.
We're here, man. We can do this every day if you want.
Absolutely. Love to. I'll be here every day.
We're gonna do this every day, man. Send this stuff out. You never know who might need this. You know how many people call the Christian radio or call 911 because they're on a crisis and they want to kill themselves?
Yeah.
Just a word, man. What we do right here, man.
This is just one.
And eventually, later down the line, we're gonna have a phone number for you guys to call. When you need that help. you know, and we'll have it on our link, you know, and places you can go, you know, before you get to that point of suicide or overdosing on purpose just to get help. Because I know a lot of people out there, they homeless and they don't have no issue with addiction, or their mental health isn't as bad as the moment, you know what I'm saying? Right. But they have no place to get help, you get what I'm saying? Because you gotta either be going through something to get help, and to me, I think that's something we should fix.
I'm gonna hear myself again, right?
Bang up.
Who? 413, Joker G. Voices. Voices in my head, you know. Try to tell me how to live and how I gotta grow. I kill my pain with my heart, and this is what I show. I tell my demons I'm the boss.